Yes, 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 yes. It's based. Boxing basement, it should be light to keep the haters away. Yeah, so I was just thinking, right? Obviously, I've done a preview of Callum Smith vs Beterbiev, Artur Beterbiev, right? And it's a super interesting fight. And what's quite weird is that, there are two camps, really. The British camp, which basically saying Callum can do it, he's got a big chance, right? And then other people going, some of them are British as well, he got no chance, got zero chance. I mean, you gotta think, right? Callum Smith has reach advantages, height advantages, age advantages. And if you look at him in the weigh-in, man, he looks in super shape. And he looks enormous next to Beterbiev, who, oddly, I think he boxes as a heavyweight as an amateur, which is the equivalent of cruiserweight in the pros, right? But, man, it's a difficult fight to predict. People say, oh, Smith hasn't beaten anyone really. He beat a one-armed George Groves, and he folded against Canelo. I don't agree he folded. I think he got his arm severely busted up. Canelo's the master of beating up people's arms, which is a weird tactic that you rarely see. But, you see Smith's arm, it was just, I don't know, deformed, right? So I give him a pass for that. It's just the natural advantages, physical, that Callum has that just make me doubt. Not doubt Beterbiev, sorry, of course. You know when you get Beterbiev, right? And I seen a video with Dan Aziz. And now I like Aziz because he's likable, he laid back, he honest. And he was like saying, well, sparring with Beterbiev is like you're in a room and it gets smaller. And he was laughing. So many fighters are dishonest, about sparring. But he was happy to say he had a tough time. And hopefully Aziz will beat Watsi. I'll do a preview for that another time. But at the moment, Aziz is 3-1. Might have it as a vaguely even fight, although Watsi is a lot taller. And those are big advantages in boxing. But it didn't help Jordan Thompson when he met Jay Opataya, right? So you can't be too swayed by height and reach. And then there's the Scousers, right? Tony Bellend, Natasha Jonas, one of the worst boxers I've ever seen. Well, I mean, she's a woman, right? But still, man, she's terrible. And they're all going, oh, Callum can do it. So, and it's like, yeah, you just... Tony Bellend, right? Tony Bellew would support any Scouser, even if they're fighting King Kong or Godzilla. So his opinion is worthless. But there's other things that Callum's got. He's not been down. I can't remember if Joe Smith had been down, who's the guy that Beterbiev beat up to unify the title. I don't know if Joe Smith had been down. I mean, he broke him down, bust him up. But Joe Smith was not boxing with his brain. He just kind of steamed in there. And you get caught cold. Being caught cold is very different from being caught later in a fight. It just is, man. You get guys who can get ironed out in the first round because they're cold. Your head needs to get used to it. But what's the other negatives for Callum Smith is that British fighters do not travel well. They don't, and I said this in my other preview. Obviously there's a few fights. Lloyd Honegan is the one they pull out all the time, but Don Curry was very overrated. They go, oh, Amir Khan won a few fights. Ricky Hatton, yeah, but they lost more. Lennox Lewis, but come on, man, Lennox Lewis is connect. Well, I'm not hating on him, whatever, but he's not. He didn't live in Britain, did he? you know? And it makes a big difference with the, I think he lived in the United States, right? In the US when he took those big fights on. So he would have been acclimatized, if that's the right word, to the time difference. And people don't realize what a big difference jet lag makes, you know? Like you see it with Japanese fighters. So many Japanese fighters are good, and they got loads of world champions. When they step out to different countries, they get beaten up. So all these factors are hard to weigh up. But Beterbiev was 39, as I said. You know, he had a hard fight against Yard. Yard is a strong, muscular fighter. I don't rate him hugely, but he's world class. But I said he's British class. I undersold him. I think he's world class, but not at the high level. And you know what? You've also got to think. Well, hang on, has Beterbiev beat anyone that's that great? You know, yeah, he's got 19 wins and 19 KOs, but there's a few guys that are just pretty average that went into the latter rounds with Beterbiev. But again, you know, I find it hard to confidently predict this fight. I think Callum, as I said, looked amazing at the weigh-in. I don't expect anything better, but he looks better than I've seen him before. Ripped, tall, broad shoulders, no homo. Yeah. And, you know, there's the usual stuff circulating on, you know, social media. Oh, he's the best he's ever been. He's he's knocking heavy bags off, you know, their fittings and smashing them. I mean, I don't believe any of that nonsense. They said the same thing about Liam Smith before he got ironed out by Chris Eubank Jr. So you can't, if you got rumors from the camp, you just don't believe them. Mate, you know what? As I said often, if you really want to know who you think will win a fight, and you're being honest, you say, if I had to bet my life on it, who would I bet on? Well, at this point, I would have to bet on Beterbiev. Probably by stoppage in 10. But, you know, Callum Smith can punch. He seems tough. He's in great shape. There is a chance of an upset. The things with Beterbiev, even though he's 39, he lives life clean. He's a Muslim and he doesn't drink. So I'm just looking forward to this fight. I'll watch it the next day. But I think it's a quality fight. I mean, if I had to bet my life, I'd go Beterbiev in 10 rounds. But you know, Beterbiev's been hurt. He was put over by Callum Johnson, who is a British level fighter, and no more than British level. He got put over. So, you know, and I look at the size of Callum. There's a chance for an upset. That's all I say. Am I going to bet on it? I don't know yet. If I do, it'll be a very small amount, a minuscule amount of money, because I ain't got no much money. Because YouTube are haters, and they shadow ban me. But yeah, it's just great to have a good fight, because in boxing, I'm sick of the chat, the talk, you know. He might fight him, and it's just like a soap opera. I want to see the fights, yeah, good fights. How many good fights have we missed over the years? I want to see the good fights, and this is a good one. Right, so I look forward to it. Anyway, peace in the Middle East.